Yay Media Group.
I go, I don't know. I gotta need my calculator. And he goes, what's your name? I said, Jordan. He goes, what am I pointing at? I said, your nose. And he goes, what's in my hand? I said, nothing. He goes, Jordan knows nothing.
That's pretty funny.
Hey guys, episode 204. We are gearing up for Christmas. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. We're just getting a couple of these episodes in. If you see my sweatshirt, naughty list. I've actually been on the good list this year. I've been very good. And I already bought my Christmas present for myself. I spilled some coffee. You know what I did today? I took the kids to Hallmark. We always go to Hallmark and buy ornaments. We've been very behind because Jeff's just been working on overload at his job. So our schedules just are not the same. So I took the boys. I got Jeff and I a Together ornament. I got a Santa Cruz ornament. Not Santa Cruz, but a Santa Claus cruise ornament. And I come back to my car. I'm like, that's not my car, right? I was like, my car's not running. And I was like, wait, that's my car. I didn't lock my door and I left my car on and it was running. So how funny would that be to tie up the year if somebody just got in my car and like started driving around?
Yeah, that would have been not great.
That would have, me and my friend, I called her, I go, can you believe I just did that? I was like, my mind is just in a million different places. And we both started laughing. She goes, well, that would just completely sum up 2025 for you guys. And I was like, actually, that would be kind of funny, but nobody would take my car. It's old.
Yeah. If we look like we're crying or hungover, we're not. My dad just got into town. I picked him up from the airport yesterday and we're starting to make our homemade raviolis that we do every year, but I've been really busy with work. So he got a jump start on it, which I'm not very excited about. I don't like when people cook in my kitchen and I'm not involved. I
told Jeff's dad, I go, I don't cook. Pots and pans are there. This is your kitchen. Do what you need to do.
Yeah. So
and I stayed clear of the kitchen and I helped Leighton with coloring and stuff. But I don't know how many onions.
What I'm getting at is that we're in the basement and my eyes are burning from the onion. I don't know what he did to those onions, but it's everywhere. I was sitting on the couch before we started upstairs and I was like, why are my eyes burning?
I know my eyes are burning and my nose is running. I'm like, oh my God, this is why I don't cook. This is why I buy diced onions. I cook onions
every day. I don't know what he did with those. I don't know what he did.
I just handed him the bag.
Did he cut up the whole bag? What's up? I could feel it.
I told your dad, I was like, do you want me to go to the store and just buy diced onions because I'm not cutting these?
No, get out of here. That makes me so mad. But anyways, and then he just took out a pan and put the meat in there cold and then put it on a slow burner. I was like, dude, I can't take it. You got to heat up your pan, people. If you're out there and you're cooking this holiday season, make sure your pan is hot before you put things in there. Trust me, you're going to thank me later. It tastes way better. If you that's how you cook. You throw the meat in there and then you put it on the burner. You got to have your pan hot. You got to have your grill hot. You got to have your stuff hot.
I think you need to do a career change and like be a chef or something. Because you're very passionate about cooking and you get very mad with that. And me, I could care less.
Because I just went, on top of being real busy at work, although I just had to go to work. Yesterday I got off and I did all the shopping for the food. So I went to Costco, crazy. I went to this Italian deli that's over here, that Carmine.
You are obsessed with that. How many? You've been like 3 times already.
I know. They're starting to wave to me when I come in. But I wanted to go get like the lunch meat, like the Italian lunch meat and the stuff for like antipasto. So it's right by my work. So I just went over there and then I went, what are you laughing at? And I went to Costco. And then I'm going to cook it. But yeah, it's Onion City in here and I like to cook, but my eyes are like.
I know. I'm like, what's going on? I'm about to go. I took a picture today. I was like, I want to remember this. 71 in the car.
It was insane yesterday. I put the air conditioning on. I know, but it's like record-breaking highs here. I think it's the second highest.
They said we were warmer than Vegas and California.
It's crazy. It's really warm here, but I don't know. Getting ready for the holidays. One more day of work. I got to work tomorrow and finish up and then come back, cook. We got to go to church and then Christmas.
We do a candlelight service at the church. It's not a Catholic church. It's like a non-denominational church, but we go every single year. I like it. And we have to get early this time. Do you remember last year?
No, we get there early.
No. I know. But remember last year, there were no seats and all the people standing. And remember, I had Leighton on my lap.
Oh, yeah, but we always get there early.
And I scooted over so the family could all sit because I felt bad because they were like, here we are sitting. And they are all just standing and they couldn't find enough chairs for everybody.
Well, here, it's a message from God. Get here a little early. We got here a little early. You could stand.
Yeah.
In an episode before we get done with our New Year's goals, I mean, before we finish the year out, I wrote down some goals. So I was working on that today. We're going to do that in a future episode. But I was getting to things like, stop worrying about other people. Like all this pretending you care and, oh, what a cute dog. The fuck out of here with all that. I'm going to be worried about myself in the new year. You know what I mean?
When somebody says fake hey to you.
When
you
what?
Just have to, when somebody says fake hey to you and you just have to smile and pretend like they really care. That
Say what?
They fake hey to you.
Fake hey?
Fake hi.
Oh. No, I'll still be nice. But it's just like all this, all the fakeness, I'm over. You know what I mean? And then kind of like just obliging to it.
Like,
you know
oh my God, how are you guys doing? We've had a shitty year. What about you?
Yeah. Did you see my Instagram post? Oh my God, I love dogs. They are the cutest. I love them. Yeah, everybody likes dogs, nerd.
Speaking of, what do y'all think of my cup? It matches my nails. Mama Claus.
Oh, you switching gears?
No, I got this cup on sale for $5.
I don't think we have enough coffee mugs or tumblers in there.
TogetherMess tumbler. Don't forget.
Okay, but how many other tumblers do we have?
1 million.
Why?
You should go look at my dad's house and then say something.
So that makes it right?
No, but it's, I have no idea. It's just a thing.
It's an obsession.
So when I went to Hallmark, I was very excited. If you spend a certain amount of money, you got a free candy cane glass tray. Your dad goes, that is beautiful. I go, I know. I didn't even know they were giving this away for free. And they wrapped it for me. And he goes, if I had my cookies, I would put my cookies on this. And I go, this is like really nice. I go, I'm actually going to use it.
That's good.
Yeah, I was very happy about it.
You're one of those people. How would you think you get a deal when you spend $250?
I know, right?
You get 10% off. You're like, oh, look at that. They threw in a free shitty plastic candy tray because they spent $150.
It's glass.
How much you have to spend to get the shitty candy tray?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You got suckered into that.
No, I just had the boys pick out an ornament. And then, okay, can we talk about this? I thought this was so weird. Okay, it's Christmas time. Do what you want with your tree and your ornaments, what you want to put on. They had an Exorcist ornament. Exorcist. Like the movie.
Dude, my eyes are on fire.
So are mine. I've been here
I feel like I got to open a window down
Maybe
here.
your dad did the whole bag. I wasn't paying attention.
What in the world is happening
Me
down
and
here?
Leighton were coloring.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the Exorcist, getting back, the Exorcist ad?
It's the scary.
What am I talking
the
about?
The scary movie, Exorcist.
Why would they have
It's
that?
the creepy girl that gets possessed.
That's kind of what I'm getting into. Like for the new year, again, I'm going to save it for the goals.
You're getting into exorcisms?
No. Saying no.
I would leave you.
You know what I mean? Like little Teddy loves the Exorcist, so we got him an ornament. Hey, little Teddy is fucking crazy, so don't get him that ornament. You know what I mean? Enough of this bowing down to insane people and what they think is right and wrong. I'm just going to start putting it out there. Nobody should have an Exorcist ornament, you psycho.
Well, I was like, who would put that up? And then I was like, well, even if you're not religious, non-religious people still put up trees. I was like, maybe it's for them. I was like, but that's bad vibes.
No, why would you have that?
I've never even seen the movie Exorcist because
I did, and it freaks me out, and I don't want that.
I will never.
I don't want those vibes in my house. But what kind of family puts that in their house? Somebody.
A weirdo.
Exactly. And so like somebody should go over there and be like, if you have an Exorcist ornament, you should probably talk to a therapist.
A lot of their ornaments were sold out already, but there were plenty of Exorcist ornaments. So
well, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe everyone's like, whose idea is this? Well, how about the owner of Hallmark that had to get in the store somehow? You know what I mean? And like, Jamie's so creative. Let him express himself.
I know.
Yeah, no.
And then Leighton wanted, Stranger Things from Netflix. They had some Stranger Things ornaments. I was like, Leighton, I am not putting that type of stuff. And then you wanted this big, massive dragon. I'm not putting a dragon.
See, like, I guess you could call me psycho. Because I would, if it, like, Stranger Things was his favorite thing, and it kind of was like, is this the last year of Stranger Things?
I think so.
You know what I mean? And then you write the year on there, 2025, the last year. If there was something they were into this year,
Jeff,
then
it was this big.
Oh, no. I'm just talking like
$300. And I was like, no. And Leighton's like, it's Stranger Things. And it was like the car. It had like a whole thing. And
do you get a free candy dish with it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, then why not?
And then, like I said, and then it's cute. Lawson, he still loves dinosaurs. We have a zoo right now in our basement. The kids come over and they take every single stuffed animal that Lawson and Leighton have. They get very creative and they create a zoo down here, and they lay blankets that are blue and pretend like it's water. And they have the sharks, the stuffed animals that belong in water are on the blanket. It's very cute.
It is.
I'm impressed. They got monkeys hanging from
I know. There's stuff all over the basement. My dad probably got here and he's like, what's happening?
I warned him. I told him there was monkeys.
There's a zoo down there?
I go, there's a zoo down there, but it's not in the guest bedroom, so you're fine.
All right, let's take a break. I might have to get some Visine at some point of this episode.
Okay, welcome back. I know, down here my eyes are burning. And then I was like, I got a new eyeliner. I got
cook
this
every
Maybelline.
day. Has this ever happened?
No, I mean, go talk to Keith. I have no idea.
Dad, are you down here? Are your eyes on fire? What did you do with those onions? You don't even like the onions? They're not in your eyes?
Keith, how many did you cut?
Half of one.
You don't like feel it?
I did when I was cutting.
All right. I'm like down here. I'm like, my eyes are burning off.
You're weak.
I guess, he called me weak if you can't hear that. Man, his face should be like fried off with, I don't know. We're like anyways, enough with the onions. Let's take some voicemails. What do you say?
Yes. It's been a minute.
Let's crank some out. It's been a minute when we did this.
Some of them are old. We're just trying to get back to you guys because y'all call in. So we're trying to catch up. I think there's some from Thanksgiving.
Okay. We didn't burn through those yet? Let's just see what we got.
No, I scrolled back to some other ones. This one says
no, just do
smoking.
the ones that they just sent us. Put the smoking one on.
I want to.
Our eyes are smoking. Maybe it has something to do with that.
Hey, Jeff and Jordan. This is Danetta. I'm calling from Toronto. I just want to start by saying that you guys are my favorite Big Brother couple. And I've been listening to this podcast since around the time when you guys went to Great Wolf Lodge. And Jeff was annoyed at the people that came down to breakfast in their pajamas. But I just want to say that I love the way, like, you guys are just so funny. And Jordan, I love the way you pronounce words with your accent, or the way you mispronounce words or just say things wrong. It's really funny. Like stump your toe instead of stub your toe. Or you say muggy instead of musty. My favorite, though, was when Jeff was talking about the Karens who don't put their shopping carts back, which every time I do put my shopping cart back, I always think about Jeff getting mad at people that don't do it. I remember that, Jeff, you used to smoke when you were on Big Brother. Recently on a podcast episode, Jordan referred to when you used to smoke or like not smoking anymore. So I'm just wondering, like, were you a chain smoker or were you just smoking because there was nothing else to do in the house? When did you quit? How long has it been? Just curious because, yeah, I remember you did smoke and now you don't. Anywho, I hope this message gets to you guys. And yeah, I'm tie-tie. I'm going to go watch the Times now. See ya.
Oh,
well, you're going to like this episode.
Danette.
Who was that? Danette. You're going to like this episode because I was complaining earlier on and Jordan, I didn't understand. What did you say earlier? I didn't understand what you were saying.
Fake hay.
Oh, yeah, fake hay.
Like
I didn't understand what you were saying.
High.
Yeah. Hi, fake hay.
Vacay.
Yeah, vacay. I thought you were saying vacay, but like your brother would say, vacay.
Oh my gosh, I called Peyton the other day. He was like, what are you doing? I'm drinking a bottle of wines.
Well, you know what? We got to have him call in when he's drunk because, he calls us. He should just call in and leave a funny message.
He always answers his phone. If you needed a lifeline and somebody's like, you're going to win $1 million if someone answers their phone, I would never, ever, ever call my mom. She never answers her phone.
He answers all the time. That's what I love about him.
You could hang up with him, 10 minutes later, call him. He's like, oh, hey. And then he answers. Hang up. Oh, hey.
You know what I love? We're going to have our goal episode. We're actually doing it right after this because we want our Yay group to have the holidays off. So we're going to knock out 2 episodes back to back, but we're doing them all tonight. I wrote down, answer the phone on my goals. Answer the phone when someone calls, even when I don't want to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look, I'm going to show you just because you're going to think I'm lying. And that's what I love about your brother. And he does that all the time. Here, where is it? Are you just going to believe me? Oh, here, look. Answer the phone even when I don't want to.
Wow.
See? So that's funny that we did that.
You want to see how many unread text messages I have? I have 205 unread text messages because I just don't feel like responding back.
Well, see, we got to get better at that. Or I do. You do what you want.
But I love that I didn't post it, so
that
nobody
bothers
knows.
Me. I can't even have that on my thing.
I have 869 unread emails because
emails are different.
I look at it and I'm like, don't feel like replying, or I just delete it.
Yeah, but a lot of my emails are like junk emails and things like that. But text messages, I can't. I have to clear them all out. I can't have them unread.
Really?
Yeah, it bothers me.
My mailbox, it just let me know my mailbox.
Even if I don't get back to you, I'll just I don't know. I'll just get it. I don't want any unread messages because then I'll get confused about what's now.
Really? Sometimes I try to find text messages. I'm like, wait, I think that was 2 months ago. And then I scroll and then I try to find the person's text message back, or somebody will send me an Evite and I completely forget. But I guess if you open an Evite, they can see that you opened it. Didn't know that because I got called out on it. Oh. And I saw it, but then, I was busy and I just didn't respond because I didn't know what I was doing. I needed to look at our calendar. And somebody was like, oh, I saw you open the Evite, but you didn't respond. And I was like, oh, dang.
Oh.
I don't even know how to send an Evite, but that's what they do at school. But y'all would be very proud of me. You know how we always bashed our kids not going to birthdays? I RSVP'd to 3 birthdays in the new year, birthday parties for my kids.
Good for you.
Wouldn't you be proud?
I am proud.
Yeah.
We'll see how you feel when you have to go get those presents.
Okay, wait. I have a funny story to tell you guys. I don't volunteer at the school, but I did around the holidays because Leighton kept begging me and then I felt bad. So I was like, okay, I'll volunteer. And then at Christmas, for the Christmas party, I ran one of the stations. I told one of the moms I would come and help. By the way, it was a sauna. My back was sweating so bad. My friend was wearing a sweatshirt or a Christmas sweater and this goofy hat. And she's like, oh my God, I'm dying in here. People were taking their layers off. It was so hot in the classroom. But anyways, so this kid, I forgot what he said. He was like, he just looks at me at the Christmas station. What's 92 plus?
Oh, this is funny.
Plus, I don't know, 220, something like that. I go, I don't know. I need my calculator. And he goes, what's your name? I said, Jordan. He goes, what am I pointing at? I said, your nose. And he goes, what's in my hand? I said, nothing. He goes, Jordan knows nothing.
That's pretty funny.
And in my head, I was like, oh my God, you
what
little
grade
shit.
is he in?
First grade. And I was like, this is why I don't volunteer. And I looked at my friend who volunteers all the time. All the kids know her. And I go, this is why I don't volunteer. And we were dying laughing. I was like, that was funny though.
That was pretty funny.
And his, the way he delivered it to me. And then he knew the answer to whatever he said. But I was like, I don't know.
Bravo to
I'm
that
the
kid.
worst. I'm like, what's up? What's your name, kid?
You can't when they ask, you're in a classroom. You can't say, I don't know. No, help. You
I
got to
need my
help them out.
calculator.
Well, do it. You got to help them out.
I didn't even have time. I was like, okay, ask me like what 2 + 2 is, kid.
Maybe you should volunteer in preschool.
But this is why I don't. Like, I'm that one that walks in. It's like, what's up? What's your name?
You don't say what's up to a kid.
Yeah, they're like, hey.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, but I don't, it's just not my thing.
All right, well, that's over. That was a good.
It was a great run.
You gave it a good try.
I told Leighton, I was like, you should be proud of me. And he goes, thank you for coming. And then I felt really good because I had an appointment to see this doctor, and I got there 30 minutes early because I was like, maybe they'll take me early. And they were so busy. And they were like, listen, we're running behind. And I just told the lady, I was like, okay, I just need to pick up this. I was like, I didn't need to get out of here. I was like, I want to be at my son's Christmas party. And she has kids, so she gets it. And she got me out like super quick. And then I got there, I emailed Lawson's teacher and like text messaged a couple neighbors to see if they were going to be there, just to let Lawson know I'm coming. And I didn't want him to think I forgot about him. And I showed up, and he like turned around and his face like lit up. He was so excited I was there. And he told me, he goes, I almost cried. I was like, why? He goes, I didn't think you were coming. I was like, yes, I'm coming. I was only 5 minutes late. But yeah, and I stayed the whole time. He was so excited that I was there.
Well, maybe you should go a little bit more.
Not
but just
volunteering.
don't answer any questions. All right, let's take it. Oh, you know what?
Let's talk about the Siggies.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say that. What did
Ask it, how
Dante,
long
what'd
were
she
you a
say?
chain smoker? How long
so
have you
I
been
never
smoking?
really smoked. I would smoke when I drank. That's when I smoked. I never smoked other than unless I was drinking, or in the Big Brother house, I'd have one here and
You
there.
had a lot in Big Brother.
Probably because it was Big Brother.
Season 13, though, were you smoking? You were smoking then.
No, I stopped smoking. Again, I never really smoked. I smoked when I drank. That was like socially. But the final cigarette I ever had, it was like a movie. We were at our old apartment, and Lawson couldn't even walk. He couldn't even walk yet. And that's when I was working like those 13-hour days. Mm-hmm. And it was crazy. And I came home and I had like a drink, and I had a cigarette on the balcony. And Lawson like climbed his way up on the glass. And we had this little balcony. And he climbed his way up on the glass and was like standing there, but he couldn't even like stand. And I was like, oh my God, he's about to walk. And this was before he walked. And I went to go inside, and I had a cigarette. And I was like, oh my God. So I took my cigarette and I threw it out, and I went and washed my hands. And that was the last cigarette I ever smoked in my life.
Yeah, you were like, I'm
Isn't
not
that
going to
crazy?
smoke around
Like
him.
that. I stopped like that.
You do that nicotine gum.
Yeah, here and there I'll do that.
Yeah, because I get so mad. He keeps 2 in his pocket, and then he gets drunk. He gets drunk, puts his pants in the laundry room. I wash them, and I find that gum.
Sometimes I like a little,
Yeah, you chew that nicotine gum.
I like a little jolt of
I
energy.
used to chew gum all the time. I cannot chew gum. It upsets my stomach. I get gas pains.
If what?
If I chew gum, like anything minty.
Everything gives you get gas off everything.
If it's minty, like Altoids, things like that, my stomach hurts. You called me that one day and you go, oh my God, my stomach hurts so bad. And I go, were you by chance eating Altoids? Because you were interviewing people. So you take those to make sure your breath doesn't stink.
Yeah.
And you go, oh my God, I ate like a bunch.
But you know what I think that is? I have no idea what I'm talking about. Now I know what you're talking about. I don't get that from a piece of gum. I think if I eat too many mints, and like those cinnamon, I love cinnamon. And what are those? Not Altoids, but they're like candies in the round container.
Oh yeah.
That I get all the time.
They are like Altoids.
Yeah, but I have them upstairs.
I know.
What are those called?
I don't know what they're called, but they're like Altoids.
They're like in the round container, but they're not, they're cinnamon. I don't know what the hell they're called, but I was eating those one day and I ate like a whole box, like at work, and then my stomach hurt. And I think it's the fake sugar in there. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but whatever that artificial sweetener is, I don't think you're supposed to have too much of that. And I ate like the whole thing of it.
My grandma.
Because they're sugar-free cinnamon mints.
Oh. Well, I can't, I don't know. I just can't. And it like my jaw, when I was in my 20s, early 20s, I would drink beer and I would chew gum and I loved it. I don't know why. I always chewed gum and had gum in my mouth.
Yeah, I think that's what my thing was like with drinking, like a oral fixation of some sort, you know? That was my whole thing.
Because somebody I remember one time asked me, they're like, do you have a problem? Like, why do you always have gum in your mouth and you're always chewing it? I was like, I don't know. I just like it.
Yeah, I do. I
And he
guess I
thought
do too.
like I had a problem. Like he thought like my breath, like I was like worried my breath stunk all the time. So he was asking me questions. I go, no, it's just kind of became a thing. But big red gum always makes me think of my grandma. She's always got it like in her little purse and like on the way to church. I'd be like, Grandma, can I have some gum? And then she just tears off little pieces. You won't get a whole piece. She'll only tear you off half and then she saves the other half.
Ooh, I like
You don't waste it.
What
But that
movie?
always makes
What
me
movie
think.
did you think of when you hear Big Red? Maybe you don't watch Outtakes.
Big Red?
Big Red.
I don't know.
Talladega Nights. Do you ever watch the outtakes on that when he's doing an ad for Big Red?
No.
When he goes, if you don't like Big Red, fuck you. It's funnier when you watch the whole thing because he does this whole like they show all of his outtakes of him laughing. Whatever. Just look it up on YouTube. Anyways, let's take a break and then we'll come back and take some voicemails.
Okay. Did we finish all the questions with the Ziggies? Welcome back. We're doing voicemails still. Okay. This is Elizabeth Sculptures.
Hi, Jeff and Jordan. This is Elizabeth from California. Hey, I just finished watching your episode on your cruise, and two things I wanted to mention. The first one, it was about the silent disco. I absolutely love silent disco. It's my favorite thing to do on the cruise ship. I enjoy taking my headphones off and watching people dance and act a fool in the silence. It's the most fun thing to do. So if you ever do it again, take your headphones off and just listen to the people dancing to nothing. It's hilarious. Okay. And then the second thing I wanted to tell you was, and I know this is a family show, so I'll try to keep it PG, but we also went on the celebrity ascent out of Florida to the Caribbean last December for our 30th wedding anniversary. And I don't know if you took notice of all of the statue kind of sculpture type stuff they had that was all metallic. Did it remind you of anything? Because I felt like it looked like female, down there. Anyway, if you get a chance to go back and look through your pictures, they had some on the martini bar and in the walkway between the main part of the ship and when you walked back to the Eden Garden area. He walks through that whole like mirrored hallway area. There's a few in there that looked very interesting. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, reminded me of the Everybody Loves Raymond episode where she took a sculpting class, and look it up. It's hilarious. Anyway, love you guys. Been following you since your Big Brother days. Love your podcast. It really brightens my day. And I just love your little family, and I love following along on your little adventures and misadventures. And thanks for entertaining us. Hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye.
No.
Bye.
Elizabeth, I got to go through my pictures now and
Me
look
too.
to see if I see vaginas.
I was thinking that too, but you know what I was thinking? That big, so on the brand new boat we went on, there's that big metallic like monkey.
Yeah.
It was a monkey. I can't even remember what the last one was, and we were there for 11 days.
I don't remember.
I could remember the monkey, but what was the other one? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the one by the pool?
Yeah, where we go and get drinkies.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. I gotta look.
in
I
the
know I have
pictures too.
videos of it. I was just telling Jeff our 10-year anniversary is in March, and I go, I want to go on a cruise again. It's so funny how I was like, I am not a cruise person. Now I'm totally a cruise person.
When she's like, yeah, when you walk back towards Eden, I'm like, I'm like,
in my
through
head.
the mirrors. Yeah. And I was like
love
on
it.
the ship when she was saying that.
And I hope that we can go. So I want to go in March, and I want to do like a Caribbean one because we did the Mediterranean one. I would totally do a European one again, like later on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was long for us with the kids, but now that my mom's retired, and and my dad could alternate. So
Yeah. Well, I definitely would go back. But I didn't notice that the whole time. And we were you'd think like I'd notice it from some angle.
yeah, it was so fun.
It was a good time.
It was so fun. Okay, next one. Leslie War Cry.
Oh, War Cry. Is it War Eagle? I don't know. Let's listen.
Some of these are old, y'all.
Hey, Jeff and Jordan. This is Leslie from Alabama, and I'm driving down to see my fiance, and I just listened to your podcast with Hugh Freeze, and I am an Auburn alumni, and I love the Auburn Tigers and War Eagle. Let me explain that to you.
Here
War
we go.
Eagle is our battle cry, and the story is that there was a student at Auburn that found a wounded eagle in the war, and he brought it back to the university, and he nursed it back to health. And then at one of the first Auburn football games, he took the eagle to it, and it was circling. They started flying and circling where they were playing, and so everybody was crying out, "War Eagle, War Eagle." And so that's where that came from. But anyway, I have been fans of y'all since y'all were originally on Big Brother. And if y'all wanted to go to an Auburn game, I got a great tailgate spot. The mayor of my town of 2,000 people in South Alabama has a camper up there. We could go tailgate and have a good time, drink some beers. And Auburn is a wonderful place. And you have to be part of the Auburn family, you have to have some thick skin, because we don't win, we don't have a great record sometimes. So anyway, but I love y'all. Y'all always make my drives to see my fiance and to work the best part of my day, because anyway, y'all just do. And I love how real y'all are, and y'all tell it like it is. Whether it be throwing the big shampoo bottles into the damn bathroom garbage can or whatever. Anyway, I just love y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
Oh, I love you, Leslie.
Before Jordan even talks, she's going to be like, I love Leslie. I love hearing people from the South talk. Yes, we got to go to Auburn game. Was that everything you were going to say?
I'm totally going. I will take you up on that, like a tailgating. We did Ole Miss a long time ago when Coach Freeze was a coach there, and we had the best time at the tailgate.
So fun. Oh man, I was sick though, but I powered through.
I prefer college football over NFL. I don't care about NFL.
I almost do. I like college sports a little bit better, although my Bears are doing really good this year. So I'm like, oh my God, I don't even want to get into that game last weekend. They beat the Packers. I don't know when this is coming out, but me and my neighbors were going crazy. So I'm way into the Bears right now, but I really do love college sports. But I'm not really happy about how they do. I know this is going to go over your head, but the way they're doing the college football playoffs this year, like, JMU got in there and Notre Dame didn't. I'm not a big fan of that, but
I don't know what that means.
Notre Dame didn't make the playoffs, and they were 12 teams make the playoffs now. It used to just be, like a final two or or final four and then best record. Then they moved it up and now it's 12. And Notre Dame was in there. I know our listeners don't care about this, but they were number 9 the whole season. And Notre Dame's my football team just because I'm from the Chicagoland area. And, I cheer for Northwestern and things like that, but they're the biggest school around me and they're always on national television so I could watch them. But they were number 9 the whole year. They lost their first 2 games, like by a couple points each. And then they went undefeated the rest of the year. They were number 9 and the top 12 teams make it. And when all the conference championships played out, they got knocked out of the playoffs and they didn't even play a game. So they're not even in. And they give conference championships guarantee to the playoffs, like for if you're in specific conferences. And James Madison University, have you ever heard of them? Yeah, a lot of people haven't. Is in the playoffs and then they just got rocked by Oregon. So if Notre Dame was in there, it would have been a good game. But anyways, I don't mean to drift off. Go back to Leslie.
I just like college. I feel like college football, it's like either somebody's alumni and went there and people are passionate about it, or you grew up near the town and you just love it because your family was a fan, or you have a grandparent that went there. And like NFL, it's just, there's no really ties. Like you didn't go to school somewhere. It's just where you live. And it seems like a hassle. I just don't care.
Yeah.
We were thinking of going to one of the Broncos games. And then me, Jeff, and my friend, we were just like, it's too much work.
And it was the day after that Bears game. We went pretty hard for that Bears game. So I was like,
oh
oof.
yeah, you did.
I'm like, if you could get free tickets,
Jeff
I'll
was
go.
hurting.
Yeah, I got up and worked out though.
I always know because you don't sleep in, and you slept in, and I walked in the room and I was like, oh my God, it smells like beer in here. It smelled.
Did you watch that game? You left. Jordan wasn't even there for that game. I was like, oh my God.
Me,
like
my
the
friend,
tequila got out of control. The beers were
tell him
definitely
what
too
you
many.
couldn't do. I guess he was standing on our coffee table, and then he made my neighbor Mark stand on the coffee table with him. And they're like, he goes, you can't get down.
Well, because then it started off with a field goal. By the way, Leslie, thank you before I get into this story about the War Eagle. If that's a true story, I kind of get it now, but I never really understood why they did that. I understood that the War Eagle was their war cry, and they were the Tigers. I knew that's all I ever heard. I never heard an explanation of why. So thank you for that, Leslie. But yeah, so back to the Bears game. We'll end it here because it's kind of embarrassing, but it was a fun night. So I'm like, you got to make this field goal. And I jumped up on the table and they made it. So I was like, oh man, all right. So now we just need to get an onside kick, which is, crazy. And then we need to score again. So Mark jumped up there when they got the onside kick. And then I was like, oh my God. And then Rich, I had that fake beard laying around from that ad that we did from Cinemark.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go to our Instagram and look at the Cinemark ad we did. And we make our neighbor Mark wear a beard.
And for people that don't know, the delivery driver is my neighbor. And I had this fake beard from work for whatever reason. Charlie Blackmon Day from the Colorado Rockies. So I had this beard, and then I had the idea of making Mark my delivery driver for this commercial that I just made up in my head. So I brought the beard home, made him wear it for the commercial, and then it was laying around, and Rich put it on when all this was going on. My other neighbor, I'm like, dude, you can't take that beard off the rest of the game. And Mark was like, we can't leave the table. You have to go get us beers. So he was going outside to the fridge. We couldn't get off the table. If you're into sports, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Like if people are in a certain position and your team makes a comeback, you think like your energy is affecting the team somehow.
And you bet on it.
Oh yeah, I bet on it.
And you won a lot.
Yeah, it would have been a sad day if I took the Bears and then I stopped because I was like, that was a little crazy.
That made up for all the other ones that you lost.
It's kind of even Steven. But yeah, so that was all going on. And then they came back and I was like, oh my God, where's Lawson? He'd be going crazy right now. But then he'd probably think I'm crazy because we were standing on the table. Rich is wearing a fake beard. And then when they threw that bomb, first they got the onside kick. I was going crazy. Then when they threw that bomb in overtime to win the game, I was not even going crazy. I was like, am I asleep? Is this real life? I could not even believe that happened. If you guys aren't sports fans, go watch that Bears game.
I saw a whole montage on Instagram of all the people, like Chicago Bear people, just sitting at home watching, going crazy.
Oh my God, if you were there, you could have snuck videos of us and it would have been hilarious. Rich wearing his beard, me and Mark on the table.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you should have been there. You missed it. And you missed the game.
Listen, I was with my friend and my neighbor's wife, and we were driving around looking at Christmas lights. So it's not like we weren't doing anything. The kids were like all excited for the Christmas lights.
Oh man.
And then when we came back, y'all were like, oh my gosh.
I almost burned it down over here.
Yeah.
I jumped in a Christmas tree like Elf. I was
saying, this guy was so excited about the Bears. He's like, yeah. And like hits his door and cracks the top of it, turns around, and then walks back and just bangs it down, like went right through his door and just busted it up. I was like, it's crazy.
I'm too old to be getting crazy like that. And then some lady
is in all her Chicago stuff, and you can tell it looks like where your friends live, like how it's super city. Yeah. And she's like running out in the snow, like, yeah, screaming. Y'all are...
Well, it was against the Packers too, who are our rivals.
Oh.
And the Packers, like legit...
So y'all's quarterback's good this year.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's new. It's the second year.
Oh, good for him.
But the Packers, they own us. So if you're a Packers fan out there, I'll give it to you. You own us. I've never been to a Bears-Packers game where the Bears won. And I don't even know.
When have the Bears ever won, except for this time?
And they beat us on that last second touchdown in Green Bay to, when I was coming back from Chicago. And we threw an interception in the end zone. So this was like payback. Now we're in first, and we'll see how things play out. We might see them in the playoffs again. Very exciting stuff. But our listeners don't like that. So let's bail on this one. And
I know I was falling asleep too.
Why don't you tell your free candy story again?
All right, y'all. Have a Merry Christmas and enjoy your families.
Oh, here, I'll read
Enjoy
something.
everything. Jeff, do your quote.
Yeah, I don't know when this is coming out. Sorry if these episodes are all mixed up too. We're just trying to get them out, like I said, so everybody on our end could have a good Christmas and they get time off and all the good stuff. So hopefully you enjoy and you're having a great Christmas, like Jordan said. Here's a little quote. We are remembered how short life really is and how we are just passing through. So all the people you haven't told you love lately, tell them and live your days like you mean it.
No,
That's a good Christmas
That's a good
wish.
Christmas one. Enjoy your day. Stay warm if you're somewhere cold. And we will see you next time with our goals.
Maybe, because you have all these episodes mixed up. Bye.
Bye.